by the way, welcome. Nice to have you here. I wrote a few words down because I thought it was important to emulate what I call a universal message. And when I view the Toronto website that I've been doing for a long time, you may not know this, but I have twins who were many years ago were part of my wedding party. And I grew up with them, and even though we're not officially related, I consider them in my life my adopted brothers. And unfortunately, we lost Peter to AIDS at a very young age. And since that time, I've always been following what they're doing in Toronto and what it's about, what is their message, and how can we make a difference in this world. And so I'd like to emulate today, give credit to the Toronto chapter because I believe it's a universal message, as I was indicating, and it simply states this: no matter who you love, and in my case, that love would certainly be for both Peter and Paul, who are identical twins, and how you identify. And their values are to have values that are safe, so you're valued, you're equaled, and you're proud. And I still believe in those values today because what I noticed for Peter allowed him to develop into what I call self-affirmation for himself, and then to share his message with his family and then to others. So I've learned over time the best way we can continue this message of inclusiveness is to continue to have a conversation, a dialogue, because I believe it's only through that can we work towards understanding. That to me is the key word, the understanding within each other. And I want to end by saying, on any level, never should we accept discrimination of any kind, nor should we accept violence in any form. So to me, the colors of the rainbow, everybody understands the rainbow and the colors and what it means, and that to me represents inclusiveness. So today I stand before you in celebration of Peter. I'd like you to know I'm still very close with Paul, and it's unfortunate this year that we also lost Kathy this year, consider a sister to me. Unfortunately, we lost her this year again at a very young age through more natural causes, and I'm hoping that both her and Peter are celebrating and we can have an ongoing conversation. So I'd like to end there, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming today, and I'm bringing this message on behalf of Cobra Council, Councillor Adam Barolo will say his own words perhaps, and of course senior staff. Thank you.
Ken, do you want anything?
I certainly can. I think it's important to say that, you know, this year, sorry, I feel like you're not going to be able to hear me. This year even more so than every other year, with everybody being, you know, in the situation that we're in, being, you know, very much enclosed, very much at home, not necessarily being able to be out with other people that, you know, celebrate the same way that we do and that sort of thing. I think these visual representations are even more important this year than in any other year. They're always important, but this year I think even more so. For the people that are, you know, at home and can't, you know, be with the people that support them, a lot of people unfortunately still aren't supported, and we want to make sure that they know and that they can visually see that even though they may not be able to be out with other people that are part of their community, we're still thinking of them, we still see you, and we still hear you. So I think this is a wonderful thing.
Every Pride celebrator that you speak with will have a story about someone that has come to their Pride event, whose life has been changed. It might be the first time in their life that they felt safe. That they feel part of a community, that they felt valued and loved, and that they felt surrounded by people who care and are like them rather than feeling like an outsider. It's critical for Pride celebrators that we find a way to deliver that event in a safe way, and this year is through social media. We believe passionately in our movement and its transformative effects on people. We have come so far, but we'll have further to go. We can have a world that accepts everyone, whether it's race, religion, or sexual orientation. A world where everyone is loved and can be loved without being bullied or ridiculed for being who they are. So thank you, everyone, and happy Pride Month.
All right, so let's do it beautifully.
We're all spaced out pretty good. I think we're about all 6 feet.
Yeah.
Your worship.
Places if you want.
Well, good morning, and thank you for joining us as we raise this Pride flag to launch this month of Pride Month. We're celebrating very differently this year as we have in years past. However, it's really important that we recognize this. I want to thank His Worship Mayor Henderson for making time out of your busy schedule today to join us. Councillor Bureau, you've been with us since the beginning of this. We raised this first flag 5 years ago here in Cobourg, and you've been here from day one. So, Councillor, thank you very much for that. Kim MacArthur Jackson, the Cobourg Queer Collective, and Keith Flag Cobourg, thank you very much for joining us as well. As I said, this is the 5th year that we raised the flag here at the Cobourg Police Service, celebrating diversity. It's a gesture to show our support for the LGBTQ+ community and taking a positive stance against discrimination and violence that happen. This identified violence continues today, locally, all over Canada, and the rest of the world. I say this not anecdotally, but from stories recounted personally to me from members of my family. This weekend's events across the US and Canada show us that these events, such as this moment today, are essential to remind everyone that many need to know that diversity should be celebrated, not suppressed. The Cobourg Police Service is honored to stand together with our LGBTQ+ community. We will continue to train our members, working with strong organizations such as Serving with Pride, to ensure we are visible allies, demonstrating respect and inclusiveness for all. Your Worship, I'd ask you to bring forward some words.
I'll do my best, certainly not to repeat what I stated at Victoria Hall, but to me this is a day and the flag represents inclusiveness, and all the different colors represent different individuals with different identity. And the message is that all identities, all individuals are to be accepted. We want to be accepted, we want to be loved, we want to have a family, and we want to know we're cared for. That is a universal principle for everybody I know on planet Earth. It's a principle that I live by, and it should be no different for others who have various identities who want to be included and part of our society. To me, the key word is should be universal. We know it's not. And for that message, I wish to encourage others, please do not discriminate. We teach children at a very young age not to discriminate. Why do we do that? Because one day they're adults, and we want them to bring the message that discrimination, bullying-like behavior, and certainly violence is not an acceptable standard for anyone in our society. So I'd like to thank Councillor Burrell because he's been with us throughout all this, as the Chief was saying, the last 5 years. So I'd like to bring greetings from Cobourg Council, senior staff, and I trust the good citizens of Cobourg. My message is, let's continue to have conversation. Let's continue to work together. Let's make Cobourg proud with Pride, not only Pride Day, Pride Month. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. I'll now ask Kim McArthur-Jackson of the Cobourg Queer Collective and Cobourg PFLAG to speak.
Thank you. I would just add to the words that have already been said that I think this year, even more so than every other year, it's extremely important to make sure that we have these visual representations, that we have the visual support, because so many people are in a situation where they're not able to be with the people that do support them. Normally we would have a lot of events happening this month, and we will still be trying to do some events virtually, of course. But there's a lot of people that would normally have a lot of support and a lot of positivity around them that don't have that this year because of COVID and because of the social distancing and the need to stay home. So I would really encourage anyone and everyone to show your pride even more than you normally would this year, so that we can help support those people that don't have necessarily the support that they need at home, who aren't necessarily out of the closet, and won't be able to partake in the events that would normally be happening this year, that would help them to feel welcome and loved and part of the community. So if we can all just kind of spread as much as we can this year, even more so than usual, I think that would be amazing for people that aren't able to access that comfort elsewhere.
Thank you very much, Kim. And I just wanted, that was great. Thank you very much, Kim. In this time where we're isolating and we're not around people for support, and we can't reach out when time is of need, especially members of the LGBTQ+ community, this virtual representation of our support is just that. But we're also here as a police agency. I have members of my special constables behind me. We proudly don the Cobourg Police moniker, but we also don the Pride flag, in that we are here for support for everybody. Anybody just needs to reach out to any member of our police service. We celebrate diversity. Thank you very much. I'm going to call upon a couple of these folks here to raise our flag for us. Whoever wants to come on over here, and they didn't practice that.
Here you go. I just start pulling on this one. You just go up and start pulling.
This flag will stay to the top only for the month of June, but specifically as a representation of what we do every day, all day. Once again, thank you very much, everybody, for attending. It's been an absolutely wonderful and from your comments, touching launch to our Pride Week. And thank you very much. That concludes today's brief ceremony. Thank you very much for everybody for coming.